Okay, JP Carlin here. I am setting up for a backpacking trip that's going to go from Davenport Gap to Hot Springs, North Carolina. I'm actually going and parking in Hot Springs, getting a shuttle service to take me down to Davenport Gap, and then I'm going to hike the 36.5 miles back up. So I'm pretty excited about it. I've got all my stuff laid out here so I can show you what it is that I'm packing. So I'm going to go by compartment first. No real good order for this. I'll start with this stuff. I keep this stuff under here in this section. This is a waterproof container that I keep cotton balls in that are filled with Vaseline, and these things are great fire starters. This was actually an idea from Ian Phillips. And actually, since we're on the ideas and the giving credit to people, I want to thank a couple people. I want to thank my mom and dad for getting me this pack, my stove, sleeping bag, countless other things. My brother David for the tripod that I'm using for this right now, my pack cover for when it rains, my wife Olia for the tent that I use, Grandma and Grandpa for the Sterapin to sanitize all my water, and anyone else I forgot, thanks for anything that you got me. So anyways, here I've got my lighter. I've got a backup fire starter just in case these don't work. I've got some old school matches, and I'm going to put this stuff up here in the top so it stays nice and dry. Okay, this pack has these cool little pockets here on the hip belt, and so that's where I usually keep my munchies. Here I've got 2 bags of this trail mix. Actually, let me go through my food all the way right now. For lunches or for snacks, I don't really have like a lunch. I just kind of snack during the day. I've got trail mix, and then I've also got several of these Pro Bars or whatever my wife orders. So I've got those. I'm going to keep those in there. Here's some more lunch stuff. Another one of these bars, also for lunch, and treats for dinner. I eat these M&Ms. These are peanut M&Ms. They melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Although they will melt if they're in the sun, so I've kind of got them buried here in this bag, and this bag goes in the center so that they don't melt too bad. Breakfast. It's oatmeal. I've got these 2 packs of oatmeal. This is real smelly, so I have to keep it away from the bears and the mice and anything else that wants to eat it, which is why I've got this rope and my sleeping bag, which I'm not going to pull out. I got a new waterproof case for my sleeping bag, and that doubles as my bear bag at nights. So breakfast, I do the oatmeal. Lunch, I do these Pro Bars, the trail mix, and the M&Ms. And then for dinner, I've got 2 dinners. I've got this spaghetti with meat sauce, Mountain House, and then I've got another dinner, sweet and sour pork with rice. Should be pretty delicious. Okay, this is all the stuff that I keep in this pocket right here. Again, the food stuff, pack cover, my Sterapin for sanitizing the water in this thing, my Leatherman, I've got a long-handled spoon, and then tea, so I can brew tea mornings. This, my Nalgene, I keep in the side pocket here. This is where I actually do all my water sterilization in, and then once I sterilize it, I pour it in here. Since this thing has the big zip on top, I can actually keep this in my pack and then pour the water into my pack so I don't have to take it out, which is pretty cool. This does 1 liter at a time. This thing holds 3 liters, but I usually just put like 2 or so in there because there's usually water everywhere where I go to these places. So that's why I put in this pack here, or this pocket. This pocket over here is like my first aid area, which is why I've got my flask, self-explanatory. And this is actually my first aid kit. I'm not an alcoholic, I promise. I've got, sunscreen I found is a big thing, so I've got some of that here. This medical tape works magic, and then I've put like headache medicine and other little pills in there. I've got deodorant. I know
backpackers aren't supposed to bring that, but I do. Here's some toilet paper, so you know, just first aid type stuff. I keep that kit over there. Band-Aids, of course. Alright, over here, this is the stuff that I keep on the top of my pack. And this here, I don't like to put too much food up there because it gets hot when you hike. So, and I need easy to grab stuff. So I've got a little trail journal. Actually, Jordan gave this to me at his wedding. I've got some headphones because I downloaded every song Pink Floyd's ever made. I'm going to listen to some of that. And then I've got my Mophie. This is extra battery power for my iPhone. Here's my headlamp. And then toothpaste. I've got a toothbrush I haven't packed yet. So that stuff goes up top. This stuff goes in the main section. Oh, I'll say before I get to that, this is the footprint to my tent, and then down here is my mattress pad, or whatever you call this thing, my sleeping pad. That thing's great, and it tucks in right here in the front. And then underneath here, you can actually put in the sleeping bag. So that's where I've got my sleeping bag. Main chute here, I've got my extra clothes, not much, an extra pair of underwear, an extra t-shirt, extra, actually this is my pillow, and it's also a little bit of warmth because it's kind of summertime right now. I should have actually, yeah, there they are, extra pair of socks too. So, not a whole lot of clothes, because you don't need a whole lot. This is my cook kit. This actually has everything in it. It's actually got my, actually let me take this apart, I'll show you some cool things. This outside cover kind of stands up by itself, so you can use that to like wash things in. You can make like a little water basin to like wash pots, which I don't do much of, but you can also use it for like dogs if they want to drink water out of it. Here I've got my fuel, and then the rest of the stuff, stove, it's all in there. So this is my little self-contained cooking unit. And then this is a chair. You can actually take this Thermarest mattress pad, you put it inside of this, and it makes a chair, which it's really nice to be able to lean back against something after all the hiking. And then the tent poles are too tall, so I have to pack those separately in here. And then here's my tent. This is actually not the tent bag, it's a sleeping bag that I'm using because it's tighter. And I ratchet it down so that it stays as tight as possible. So that's it. That's what I'm packing. I've got some Chaco sandals that I'm going to put in there too, and I'm going to wear some just regular athletic shoes for hiking in. So that's my pack. Okay, so we're all packed up at this point. There's a couple things I haven't put in there, like some sandals and stuff, but probably a pound or two at most. Weighed out at 30 pounds, so it's actually pretty light for a 3-day hike, and that's with water, so that's pretty good. So now it's time to hike.